If you want me tonight, pop a sesame seed bone on your cock. Take out the fucking pickle. No one likes a fucking pickle up the fanny. Oh, he's a bloody romantic. He popped a plum roast sausage up my fanny yesterday. He loves me. Oh no. Right.
Did you know, Carl, that cataract operations on the eye were performed in India as early as 1000 BC? And in Babylonia, in the same time, the fees of eye surgeons were rigidly fixed by law and were quite generous. So, for instance, if you're a very rich person, it cost you about 10 shekels. If you're a slave, only 2 shekels. But if the rich person lost the sight of their eye after the surgeon had operated, they would cut off the hand of the doctor.
What? So he gets one chance at it?
Well, he doesn't want to screw up.
Yeah, I know, but everyone's allowed a couple of errors. That's how you learn, isn't it? That's a stupid rule. But then again, I don't know why they'd be so worried about their eyes back then.
What do you mean?
Well, there was less to look at back then.
What do you mean?
Well, like that, I saw a fella on the tube on the way here today who was blind. Proper, fully on blind.
Blind?
Now, for him, I just was like, oh, that's so depressing.
Right.
So much to see in the world now. Loads of stuff.
Right.
Art, buildings, and all that. Now, back then, if these people did have sight once, the pyramids, you remember it in your head, and that's enough. There wasn't loads of clutter anyway. It was all sand, so even if you fell over because you're blind, at least you landed on something soft. Whereas now, it's rubbish being blind. Stairs, loads and loads of people, loads of curbs and things. It's not a good time to be blind. So I'd prefer, if I was going to be blind, be blind back when Tutankhamun was knocking about.
That's a choice that people have that are blind now?
No.
If you're going to be blind back when Tutankhamun was knocking about.
But all I'm saying is...
Sorry, Doctor, I didn't realise there was a choice. Oh, yeah. If you'd already told me you were going blind, I'd have said, well, let's get you back 3,000 years.
It just seems a bit harsh, that's all. When someone's trying to help you and operate on your eyes, and they have a little bit of a slip-up, like we all do in jobs. You have a bad day, and he has to have his hands cut off. Then who's helping him? Who puts the hand back on him? And if they don't put the hand back on him right, do they have something done to them?
They're blinded.
Well, it just seems like a no-win situation. I wouldn't be a doctor, and maybe that's why there aren't enough doctors about now, because of things like that put people off.
I don't think so.
Well, I wouldn't be a doctor now.
Why?
Look at the hassle that happens now. You're being watched all the time. You're not allowed to slip up.
Right.
Well, that's generally quite a good rule, isn't it, that doctors don't make mistakes?
No, but you've got to... I'd say, at the end of the day, it's a complicated job. I'd get more annoyed when, say like the fella I've got round coming to fix my boiler. The fact he keeps having a go, he keeps charging me 80 quid, he don't really fix it.
Is it still not working?
I haven't cut his hands off.
No.
He keeps coming back. Oh, I'm a bit short on money, let's go round to the Pilkington household. Charge him 80 quid again. Oh, it's Christmas, let's pop round twice. Do you know what I mean? Whereas a doctor who's trying to help people, it's a difficult job.
Yeah.
If he makes a mistake now and again, I think, well, it's bound to happen. It's complicated.
Can't you see where I agree with you that people make mistakes, and I imagine there are good and bad doctors. They try and even that out by it being a very, very obviously stringent exam, and
it's 11 years they've got to do. I read up on it. 11 years it takes to be a doctor.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
It takes 7.
No, but then they've got to be in hospital or something for 4 years before they get to play with someone.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So that's ages. You're going to get bored. You're going to get bored.
But but that's it. They really do try and rule out, and there's still chance and mistake, and don't forget, you're given nearly impossible tasks still in medicine. Just think of the risk with transplants alone, and they're getting better and better at those, and they're lasting longer.
But the fact of the matter is, it's better to have a go, innit, than not have one. If someone said to me, right, you need a new heart, we're gonna do it.
If they say you're gonna die anyway, let's try this new thing, you might as well. But then there are some things that there's not worth the risk. When someone, it goes wrong, someone's facial surgery goes wrong because they wanted plumper lips or a little nose, I go, you're a fucking idiot. Exactly,
You shouldn't even be doing that. Doctors shouldn't even be allowed to do that.
I don't know why. I really don't know why a doctor under a Hippocratic oath takes the risk of something going badly wrong, sometimes general anaesthetic, because they can't be bothered to fucking go for a run, right? So they have fucking bits sliced off and tied up and sucked out. I want to go, you lazy fucking fat pig. Just go for a run and stop eating burgers, right? You might fucking die.
Oh.
Well, can I just stop you there, Rick? Because actually, if it weren't for a plump patient, the stethoscope would never have been invented.
Well, because he couldn't hear.
Yeah,
their
the person who invented the stethoscope, Dr. René Laennec, couldn't have a very fat patient come in and couldn't hear her heart through the blubber.
But then that's the sign of the problem. I mean, that's the sign of the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, rather than saying, hang on, let's get a bigger chair in for her because she's got a fat arse, I'd say, well, you're not welcome here. If you can't get through the door, I'm not seeing you. I mean, if you've got a doctor who's having his hands cut off because he messed up an operation, yet fatty's coming in and getting special treatment, I wouldn't give him time of day. You see, this is what I'm saying, right? This is going right back to what I was saying at the beginning. The problem is, we've got pills for everything, and all this is doing is making people treat the body badly. Because you're going, be alright, there'll be something.
It's funny, isn't it, that like these tests, they go, well, let's have a look. It's what we were talking before about weighing kids. If they can't get through the door to get to school, you don't know. If they go, oh, I'm just going to take a sample of your stool. Actually, I don't. You're too fat. Your shit's come out like tagliatelle. Your ass is too fucking fat. Stop eating your gun.
I'm going to take a sample of your stool. What, the one you fucking broke when you sat down?
I just think this is the problem. You know, we can do too much, and because of this, people are going, I don't care about my body. They worry more about the plasma telly getting a scratch on it than they do about their own body.
Exactly.
And if we stopped giving them tablets willy-nilly, they'd have to look after the body more.
Willy-nilly is one of the worst diseases in the Western world, of course. Now, medicine is the art or science of healing. And that doesn't always have to be a drug or a surgery. I mean, bedside manner has a lot to do with things, and also it's all about care as well. We mustn't just forget that some people don't need medicine; they just need help. For example, there are people that help disabled people have intercourse where they can't, you know, maybe get on to the woman herself, and there's someone that actually helps the man put in his penis to the woman's vagina. They leave the room. What?
I've never even heard of this.
It's true, absolutely true. They're helpers.
Yeah, no, I believe that is the case.
Yeah. And that's just as needed as anything that might cure
It's not. That's pleasure.
Yeah, so what are you saying, because you can't walk or move, that you can't love someone and want to share that love?
I'm just saying it's not a priority.
Well, no, but they're gonna live, they're healthy apart from their disability. I've met someone, they wanna, you know, consummate this love, and someone is, helps them out and goes, well, you know, that's part of my job.
No, it's not part of the job.
Well, it is part of this job, because that's their job.
I have never heard anyone say, I've had a right day today.
Why?
I've been playing with Arthur's tackle all day.
They don't play with Arthur's tackle, they pop Arthur's tackle in Hilda's vagina.
I don't think they do.
They do!
How can they enjoy that? I mean, maybe once, and they'd go, that didn't work, did it? I didn't enjoy that, Hilda.
No.
How can they enjoy it with a nurse stood there having to do that?
No, they help her in. She helps Arthur in, or he, might be a male nurse, pops Arthur in, goes, okay Arthur, I'll see you in a few minutes. Right, goes outside.
But what's the point, though, in that?
Why?
Because it's all about the mood and everything. He's just stuck onto like a stag beetle clinging onto a leaf. There's no enjoyment in that.
Oh, the well-known stag beetle copulating with a leaf syndrome.
No, but I'm
That's
just saying.
a well-known position in the Kama Sutra.
He knows it. You know, I think it's a lovely act, and someone's willing to. Wouldn't you help someone in?
Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not.
No. So the guy goes, oh, this is my wife. We're both say, well, I can't. You know, can you just pop me in, Carl? You're the only. You know, you're the only person around.
No, I don't think it's important.
But there
enough.
are people.
What do you mean you don't think it's important enough?
I'd be happy to go round, put the washing on for them, make the bed. Do you want a cup of tea? Yeah, I'd love one. There you go. Oh, just before you go, forget it. If they asked me to do that, I'd quit. And I don't think it happens, because people wouldn't take that on for a job. You never hear about it on Comic Relief when they're raising money. They don't go, thanks to Midland Bank for this $100 grand. That's going to go towards Arthur getting his end away.
That's ridiculous. So you would rather them not have the pleasure of each other than just help them in?
No, because they'd work out some way that they could do something for each other. I want to play the guitar. My fingers aren't long enough. I've knocked it on the head. It's the same thing. If you can't do it, don't do it.
So are you telling me, right? Okay. Supposing there's a little fella who's got no arms, no legs, right?
Right.
Little Bob. Okay, there he is. Alright, Carl. Right? He's got a friend, another little fella with no arms and no legs. Alright, Carl. Right? They love each other. Two little fellas. Two little dwarves with no arms and no legs. Okay? Lovely little fellas. They get married. Okay? Look, Carl, you can't put my penis up my boyfriend's bottom, can you?
No, I can't, no.
Why not?
No, do you need anything else doing?
No, I'm fine, yeah.
No, it's weird how you can manage everything else.
Well, no.
I'm here to help you, everything else seems to be sorted.
Well, just in the chair.
Why do you need help in this department?
Well, because he's over there and I'm here, and if you just pop me in and just leave
No, I'm
us
not
there.
doing that, it's not good for you. You've lost your arms and legs, you'll be losing that soon if you carry on sticking it up there.
From 1978, Carl, Werewolves of London by Warren Zevon. Are you a fan of that?
It's alright, that.
Great track, isn't it?
Fans of Warren Zevon, maybe if you should know he's got a new album out as we speak. Although, if you're a fan, you probably know that already.
Yeah.
If you aren't a
People
fan,
who hate him would be interested in knowing that he's got a new album out.
Yeah.
Do you believe in, I think
Werewolves.
lycanthropy? Is it not called?
What's that, sorry?
Lycanthropy.
What's lycanthropy?
Isn't that werewolfism?
Really?
Isn't it? Do you believe in that, Carl?
They've found stuff, haven't they? They've found kids walking about who are all hairy because they've sort of grew up with wolves and that.
Yeah.
So
No, you see, two things there. You cannot take on acquired characteristics genetically. So, if you grew up with wolves, it wouldn't suddenly make you hairy.
there's been pictures, there's been stories on it, and I reckon most people a lot of people have seen the stories. It's a popular thing.
You mean the kids that are born hairy?
No, there's kids who've been born hairy, right?
Yeah, that's it.
No, but listen, and they walk around on all fours, and they drink milk from a saucer.
Steve, this is
remember that time with the maggot in the head? And getting out with bacon, and you were like laughing, and then people called up and said, yeah, I've seen that, I've read about that.
Yeah,
this is the same thing.
Have you seen an XFM listener up close? Have you ever looked?
They drink milk from a saucer.
Yeah, they've got to be kept on leads. People who listen to this show.
There's no point me telling you about stuff.
There is. It's comedy gold.
When you were out of school, did you keep arguing with the teacher saying you're talking rubbish there?
Teachers didn't teach us about werewolf boys and ghosts. They taught us maths. God, right. Tell the story about the manhole cover.
Right, in the same magazine as the one with the cat and the fire and that.
Don't tell me that story again, it gives me the shivers.
Yeah, a cat that's got a weird expression on its face is against God.
Anyway, this isn't a scary story. This was just like physics. Physics.
Yeah.
It was going on about the nuclear bomb and how powerful it is, and they put a manhole cover on top of one.
Okay.
Blew it up.
Yeah.
Never saw the manhole cover again.
Man alive, Carl. Unexplained.
What's going on there? Something weird is happening there. Oh.
If anyone has ever seen that manhole cover, please get in touch. We'd love to know where it is.
Oh, that's fantastic. What sort of experiment is that? I imagine all these scientists on multi-billion-pound research projects, they're going, we test everything. What would you do to a manhole cover? Don't know.
That's like letting a couple of students
Yeah, exactly.
have control of a nuclear
Do you reckon it can
Let's
send a
put this
traffic cone into orbit? Go on then, put it on there. I love that. Imagine that. What value is that? I might tell you what we could do. We could put the manhole cover on it and aim it, and then blow the bomb up, and the manhole cover would have someone's eye out. Fire it. See if you can fire manhole covers off the nuclear bomb. Whatever. Tie bangers to a bomb. See if it's louder. Oh God.
Anyway, Carl, look, let's have a little quick session of White Van Man. For those that don't listen to the show regularly, the Sun, as you may know, has a section called White Van Man where a member of the public gets asked their opinions on the week's big political and social hot potatoes. Carl, we just thought it would be fun if you answered some of the questions. It's not so much questions, it's just your views really on these big news stories. What do you make of Olympic ski hero Alan Baxter testing positive for drugs?
What did he do?
Well, he won a gold medal in the Olympics, and
what?
He was a skier,
Right.
and he won gold medal, and they've just tested him positive for some kind of illegal drug.
But what, I mean, if he did, why take drugs to ski?
Why?
Because all you do is balance.
But imagine, it'd be amazing if you were stoned, like, going down a hill.
Yeah, it's not like you have
But
to...
it's not going to help you.
No, it's
not
just
like,
gravity that's doing all the work, isn't it, with skiing?
Yeah, but it's often to do with your athleticism, isn't it? It's
No,
not
but it'd be
you-
like saying, and we've just found out the people on the toboggan were on crack. It's not going to help them. You sit there and you go with the flow, and you try and you hold
Could
on.
I say, the drugs he was
Apparently
taking...
that's his defence,
Probably, it probably wasn't jacking up H or, you know, dropping a few E's or getting stoned. He was probably taking more sort of,
Steroids.
performance-enhancing drugs, as opposed to him just, like, scoring some shit around the corner from someone,
that
getting off his tits and jumping in a toboggan. Doesn't mean that, does it?
He wasn't off his nut.
Yeah. You tasted you. You pissed out your head.
But why doesn't he just say, don't be stupid, why would I do that? It's just not going to help me out.
But it is, isn't it? Because performance-enhancing drugs do.
Wait a minute, Steve. Wait a minute, Carl. Right, look at this way. Okay, look at me. Yeah. Have I got his attention?
Yeah, the lights glinting off your ring there.
Yeah.
You're attracted to him.
Okay, right. No, keep concentrating. Right. Some athletes, you're aware they take drugs. That's to build up
Swimmers
muscle.
and stuff.
Yeah, swimmers. For
Runners.
example, runners, yeah. Not only do they help build muscle, right, but they can actually, you know, give them a boost performance-wise,
Yeah.
sort of like steroids and all this sort of stuff, right? So that's the sort of thing we're talking about, okay?
Right, so again,
He wasn't on
why
a bong
would that help
before...
you?
What?
Why would that help you when all you've got to do is balance on skis?
Not when you're at the Olympic level.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do with, your body and your
No, it's
legs.
practice, isn't it? It's like, if you've skied for years, then you've got good balance after a bit.
Oh, do you know what, Carl? Do you know what? You've made a mockery of drug taking. Well done. Right, next one, Steve.
I hate this bit. I hate this.
I don't know if you saw it. What did you make of Posh Spice's Warts and All documentary?
Yeah, I saw a bit of it.
What did you make of it?
I mean, people are slagging them off, aren't they? Saying, she's daft and that, but
Definitely you.
she's. I think they're all right, honestly.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
think you're right.
she's all right. I mean, I think David's really a decent bloke.
Sure.
Would
Do you agree that he's quite a simple man?
Yeah, but he's a footballer. He doesn't need to be. Do you know what I mean? It's like me.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I only got an E in history. But knowing about the Tudors doesn't help me press these buttons and put the next CD on.
No, sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, good luck to him, and he's done well out of it, and it's just jealousy.
Yeah.
I remember, though, when I was back in Manchester, I was in Piccadilly train station, and he was there, right? Not as big a star as he is now, back then, but he was stood there, and I was so close to going over to him and saying, "Did you go to my school?" Because I recognised his face, but I didn't know who he was. Do you know when you sort of go, "Sure, I went to school, it's not the one with the big head,"
Yeah.
but I do recognise him, and then my girlfriend got off the train, and I said, "I'm sure I know him." She said, "Yeah, it's David Beckham." And I was
Oh,
so
thank
close
God
to
for your
going over.
girlfriend. Does she get an awful lot of scrapes, does she?
She does, yeah.
Okay, what about the fact that the pension crisis
Sure.
is going to force Britons to work into their 70s, Carl? You might have to carry on working into your 70s before you can claim a pension.
I think it's a good thing. Because you see a lot of old people who look bored.
Okay.
And I honestly think if you keep your brain busy,
Yeah.
you'll live longer.
Yeah.
It's only when you actually shut down, right, that's when your body sort of dies because it doesn't feel it has a purpose. It's like if you've got flu, keep going to work. If you have a day off, you just feel worse. You'll mope about at home. It doesn't do you any good.
What about, where do you draw the line there, though? What if you, say, lose a finger? Pop into work?
Depends. If you can't concentrate because it's painful.
But what if you're a typist?
Or
You're not going to
pianist?
type as many words, but you'll do more at work than you would having a day off at home.
Sure. Okay. Tony Blair turning trendy with his Paul Smith designed naked lady shirt. I don't know if you've seen this. It's the one with the pictures of naked ladies on the cuffs.
And, I mean...
Okay. And finally...
how's that, see, this is what annoys me about this feature. It's just, what's that? So what?
yeah, but it's the Prime Minister of this country wearing a trendy shirt with naked ladies on the cuffs.
Alright.
Okay. And finally, what do you make of the fact that Top of the Pops have banned Will Young singing both tracks on the #1 slot, and consequently he wasn't on there at all? They had to show the video. The first time anyone's ever made this demand. He wants to sing both the A and B side.
Well, he can't.
It's double A, yeah.
Double A side.
That's what they wanted to...
That isn't how it works, is it?
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
And the thing is, which one... I mean, at the end of the day, loads of people have bought it, haven't they? And it's
Yes.
like one of the
Yeah.
best... So it doesn't really matter what it does, because people have got it, they can listen to what song they want at home. Doesn't matter about what Top of the Pops do.
Yes.
And it's just annoyed me now. It's...
Who's annoyed you?
Just what goes on in the world. I tell you, you're better off not knowing. It's better being in my little world If that's what people are talking about on the streets and asking the white van man, do you know what I mean?
I think you're right, Carl. I think you're right.
Jeez.
Shall I play a lovely song for you? Because you're getting all stressed now, aren't you?
I've not had a good day.
No, I know. We tell you about it. It's not a good day. Well, I'm going to play a Neil Young track here of Harvest. It's Alabama. It's beautiful, and this is for Carl.
Yeah, but there's loads of things that you go, oh, this is a bit embarrassing. I bet Charles Darwin, when he said we've all come from apes, I bet he started home going, should I tell him about the frisbee first?
But the fact that sand makes computer chips is not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is how the human being discovered that, what am I talking about, sand makes computer chips, that silicon can have information put on it. But we're made out of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, do you know what I mean? And hydrogen.
But that's nature. You see, nature is amazing. You can't beat nature. Right?
No.
He comes up with some amazing things.
Yeah, but man is nature. Don't forget that we're an animal. We're a brilliant ape. Now, it's clear to any sensible, reasonable, educated person that we did evolve from, apes, or rather, we had, a common ancestry, and that we're closest to the chimpanzee. We're actually 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, Carl. We're closer to a chimp than a chimp is to a gorilla. Genetically speaking.
I just find that hard to believe when you.
Well, I'm telling you, it's true. So what are you finding hard to believe?
Well, your eyes, your own eyes are what sort of comes up with a lot of thoughts.
No. One's eyes don't come up with thoughts.
No,
Two,
but what I'm saying is,
what you mean is
through your own eyes,
you look at things and make up your own decisions.
So if there was no Darwin or anything, and I was sat somewhere and someone said, right, we're going to bring a few animals in. One of them's related.
Right. They're all related.
Alright, but they're all related to you, but one's not so long ago, right? And they brought them in, and they lined them up, and there was a chimp stood there, and a gorilla, and what's another one? Orangutan. Right, yeah. Right, a girl, the orangutan, send that out. I'll be first to go, so he's definitely not linked to me.
See, I disagree, but there we go. That's just looking at you.
Yeah. So the hair colouring, there's none of that in our family.
Well, there's no hair.
I like the fact that it loses out because it's ginger.
So that's gone. Right, so I'm left with a gorilla and a chimp.
Yeah.
I would go for the gorilla.
Well, it's a good guess, but you'd be wrong. So we are much closer to the chimpanzee, okay? 98.6% genetically identical. Think of that. We only differ on 1.4% of our genetic makeup.
That must be the arse. Because that's a lot different.
Animal rights is a hot topic.
It's a big issue.
What rights should they have? How do they compare to humans? You know, it's a well-known fact that we test on animals with the assumption that humans are more important. We test drugs on animals, and we're basically saying if they die, they die. We'll learn something from them. People do make distinctions between animals, right? They know that it's probably more acceptable to kill an ant than
punch a cow.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I think that comes again from how close are they to humans? Have they got a face?
But that's
are they furry?
I told you, didn't I, about my dad's mate who had a monkey and he had to thump it.
What? Well, there's two things there. One, why did he have a monkey? Two, what sort of discipline is thumping a monkey? What was the monkey doing?
He was annoying his wife a lot and sort of, you know, pinching her arse and stuff like that.
Right,
that's
wait
not
a minute,
true.
we've never heard this before. How have we had all these years of
I'm sure
monkeys
I
and we've
told you
never
about
heard this
it ages
before?
ago.
Your dad had a mate who had a monkey?
Yeah, I'm sure I told you.
Well, why did he have a monkey? Just for a laugh?
Well, it was back in the day when people they all had like odd sort of pets and that, didn't they? In like about 68.
Oh, 1968, when everyone had a monkey.
But he had to thump it. Now the weird thing is,
No, that's weird enough.
Is this all the story? This is the entire story?
No.
You've got, all the information you've got is he had a monkey and he had to thump it?
yeah, my dad told me about it. When he found out that I was into monkeys, he said, oh, Benny thumped one. And,
Benny thumped one! Oh, my son's into natural history, particularly, simian variety. I've got an interesting fact for you, Carl. Sit down. What is it, Peter? Benny thumped one. Brilliant.
But what was interesting is the way that people are thumping other people all the time. No one bats an eyelid. Thump a monkey. People go, you thumped a monkey.
Yes, they do. They do go. You thumped a monkey.
So that's what's weird, isn't it?
But this chimp doesn't want to be caged and kept in a fucking council house in
No,
Manchester.
it was quite happy. And if
It
it wants to
wasn't
live like a
happy.
human, I mean, in the 70s, you know, there were all the teabag adverts and all that, and they were loving that.
No, they
When
weren't
people
loving it.
interfere, people go, oh, that's unfair. Now they're in like a cage in a zoo. You're going, it was better when I was pushing a piano up the stairs.
They weren't really.
They weren't actual delivery men.
They weren't really sitting down and having a cup of tea.
It wasn't a documentary. A week in the life of the monkey delivery men.
I love that. Chimps in a zoo now going, fucking hell, at least we were free, haven't we?
Remember when we used to drive a van?
And
for a
we're,
living?
and we're on 58 quid a week.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be kept in a house in Manchester. It's cruel to keep a person in a house in Manchester, so it's fucking cruel to keep a monkey.
Are you aware, Carl, that 99% of all forms of life that have existed on Earth are now extinct?
So there's only 1% of everything that's ever been still alive.
Yeah.
But that's just as well, isn't it?
Why?
Well, I think it's pretty crowded now. So it's just as well. You see, this is what I'm saying now. Years ago, they accepted that. Cavemen wouldn't have been going, oh, we're losing stuff's dying. Whereas now, everyone's, oh, the panda, polar bears, not got any ice, and all that. At the end of the day, the world's only so big, we know it's not getting any bigger. Right? Stuff's got to die, hasn't it? You can't keep everything.
Just think of that, though, as a tool of natural selection, that the species that are surviving today are 1%. Just how amazing that is to survive and evolve. How perfect everything is on Earth. It's amazing.
No, but it'll drop off again, won't it? As we find in new stuff, other stuff will be dying.
Well,
in
things
that
happen.
1%, when that was written, when that statement was made, was the dodo gone or was it still here?
It was.
I'm pretty certain the dodo was gone.
It was gone already.
It doesn't matter, though, does it? A percentage is a percentage.
Yeah, the dodo went. The last dodo died. They said
Yeah.
that was the last dodo. No
Yeah.
more dodos. But we found this.
Dido. Still making great
Great
tunes.
albums, great albums.
Great,
Although
yeah.
every
We lost the dodo, but we've got Dido.
a recent album's not sold very well, actually.
It's, I've heard it's
Dying
doing.
out. Dying
it's-
out. Everything has a lifespan.
Dido's dying out.
But and I think that's life. So it's not amazing, really.
That's
That
not
is-
either anymore.
No, that's not either. That's life's gone.
That's gone.
That was good.
What else?
Esther Ranson forced to just die out in the jungle. now.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
When I went to Natural History Museum, there was a thing called a Cytherea or something. Right, died out ages ago. No one knows about them, which is weird because everyone knows about the dodo.
Well,
Yeah.
that's because it died out in, I think, was it the 18th century or something, wasn't it?
Well, you know, within what might term recent history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this thing's sort of. I don't think it was far behind it. It's just timing, isn't it? That got more press, the dodo. The Cytherea, or whatever it's called. It was a big thing. It was
Well,
a cross.
you've seen it and you still don't know what it's called.
Well, it's spelled awkwardly. But it's but they said it was a cross between a moose and a giraffe. Now we don't need that, do we? At no point have we said, do you know what we need here to get us through this?
Well, that's funny because when they first named the giraffe, they called it the camelopard because they thought it was a cross between a camel and a leopard.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that when zoologists examined a platypus for the first time, some of them thought it might have been a hoax, because they thought it could have been different parts of different animals sewn together, because the platypus has the fur of an otter, the tail of a beaver, the bill and feet of a duck, and the venomous spurs of a fighting gamecock. So they assumed that it
It's
must
like
have
a
been a
scrap
hoax.
eat challenge of animals.
Yeah, I remember, right?
But they actually...
Sorry, go on,
well, just to clarify that, it actually is descended from a link between reptiles and mammals almost 150 million years ago, a sort of living fossil.
When I was about 13, 14, I once tried to improve the animal kingdom by making the hardest animal ever, the most perfect animal.
Now, just to clarify, you didn't, in sort of Frankenstein style,
No.
try and bolt various bits of animals together.
It was a drawing that I sent to Blue Peter. There was no competition going on.
You just thought they would be appreciated.
I thought they'd look at that and they'd go, well, he's a genius.
Yeah.
This is like Da Vinci.
Sure.
And this is the animal. This is what I thought, the perfect animal. I mean, when I say perfect, I meant the hardest animal. This
Right.
animal, it could take anything. It was just the strongest, hardest, fastest. Right.
Yeah.
So, I started with the head of a lion.
Of course, that makes
Do you know what I mean?
perfect sense.
Roar, it looks good. Roar, bite you, right? Okay. I popped that on the body of a rhinoceros.
Okay, so it's got the toughness, the armour, if you like.
It's full strength. Head of a lion. Think of that. So you've got this picture. Head of a lion, body of a rhino.
Perfect.
Okay? Hold on, though. Pop some arms on it. The front arms were the arms of a gorilla.
The arms of a gorilla.
So it
okay.
could punch, grip, it could make stuff. The lion, I mean, that's where the lion falls down, because it can't make stuff.
Sure.
It can't climb, you know. So, okay then, wait a minute. You think that's got enough weaponry?
Sounds like it.
No. Pop on the tail of a giant scorpion.
A giant scorpion?
Yeah, yeah.
So a scorpion that's the size of a rhinoceros.
Exactly, so the tail was as long as that rhino. So now this is a scary animal.
Yeah.
And this is where the animal fell down. I thought, right, legs. Well, the fastest animal is the cheetah.
Cheetah.
Popped on 4 cheetah legs.
4 cheetah legs.
It would have collapsed.
Crushed under
It
the
would have
weight of the
collapsed
rhinoceros.
immediately. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you drew this, did you?
drew it, yeah.
Did you show it to anyone?
Yeah,
other
my
than-
mates went, that's brilliant.
Right.
They said, that's brilliant.
And then just sent straight to Blue Peter.
Yeah.
Any reply?
No reply at all.
Really?
Hello, I'm Ricky Gervais. The English biologist Thomas Huxley once wrote, "To a person uninstructed in natural history, his country or seaside stroll is a walk through a gallery filled with wonderful works of art, 9/10 of which have their faces turned to the wall. Teach him something of natural history, and you place in his hands a catalogue of those which are worth turning around. To some, the wonders and intricacies of the natural world are a miracle, living proof of the existence of God. To others, the natural world is a wondrous illustration of Darwinian evolution." To discuss the complexities of plant and animal life, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, graduate of the University of Warwick and award-winning writer,
Thank you so much for having me.
and Karl Pilkington, a man with no qualifications, very little education, but who is now known the world over as a man with a head like a fucking orange.
Right.
Natural history obviously takes in everything to do with animals, plants, bacteria, which are in neither group. I should start by just saying, Karl, that the natural world is so diverse that we don't even know how many species there are. Conservatively, there's 2 million species of animals. I mean, without even taking in plant life, there are at least 2 million species of animal. With plants and animals, there could be up to 10 million species. There are 37,000 different species of spider alone. What do you think of that?
It's a lot.
It is, isn't it?
A lot. But if there's loads of stuff out there that we don't know about, and we don't know what it's doing, is it that important? Is it worth finding them now?
Well, yeah.
Why?
Well, it may give us the key to unlock other mysteries.
A spider won't.
Well, it might do.
A spider won't be unlocking any mysteries.
Well, that's totally...
Plants are different. I reckon there's a natural cure for everything out there.
because there's loads of animals that have toxins that are used in medicine.
Yeah, I know that we use dangerous spiders to get rid of headaches or whatever, or they do in the tribes, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to just expand on that point?
It's just that's what they do in tribes. They've got all natural. All these tribes, they've got all natural remedies. They go, what's up with you? You got a sore ankle? Chew on this twig, and it works. I've seen it. They've sent women out there, and like they couldn't believe the stuff they can do with twigs and trees and hedgehogs and stuff.
It wasn't an in-depth analysis, was it?
What I'm saying,
Women, they just sent some women out there.
well,
Apparently.
Yeah.
I reckon the stuff that's got venom in it that's useful. We probably know about all them because
It doesn't make any sense. We probably know about all of them.
What I mean is the police know about the gangsters, but
Right.
they go, right, we're aware of them,
Right.
and get on with it. We'll keep our eye on them. And it's the same in the jungle. The spiders, the deadly ones you're aware of, the ones that are just pottering about, you go, don't even worry about them, don't even give them a name. They're not doing anything.
But what if there's another poisonous spider they haven't identified yet? They're lurking in the undergrowth.
I'd be very surprised.
So you'd be very
I'd
surprised.
be surprised if there was
It
something...
sounds like laziness on your part.
But they're
No,
discovering
it's
new
not.
species all the time.
We know about all the dangerous stuff now, because we have to. We live in
No,
a
we
world
don't.
now. We do. We know about a lot of the dangerous stuff. Whenever they find something new now, it's like a new
look-
butterfly or...
Well, no, look at AIDS. When I was a kid, no one had ever heard of AIDS.
Yeah, but that's not a natural thing, is it? That's not like a spider or
What do you mean
a
it's not a natural
ladybird.
thing?
It's not a natural thing. It's not something that's... AIDS hasn't been, like, living under the soil for millions of years going, I'll wait till the 1980s and I come out and kill a load of people.
No, but it is a natural
It's a new thing.
Yeah,
It's new.
Yeah, but loads of animals are new, aren't they? Evolutionary terms, there's new animals in evolution.
I'm sure there's new stuff deep down that's just like, almost like bacteria, sat under the soil, it'll never come to the top. Right? It's like having an old woman who's a neighbour. She never goes out, she doesn't bother you. Let her be.
But what if that old neighbour could unlock the secrets to...
I don't think she can.
Just even to us understanding the complexities of the universe, of the way things have developed and grown.
Because we know about it.
Well, why would we know about it? Because I never understand, why is it you want to stop researching and studying now? Why is it that you're happy to just draw a line under everything else? What if people had said this back in the 19th century?
We've done this. I think it's someone in the 1900s. We said everything that's going to be invented has been invented, and then look what happened in that century.
Yeah, and I've said to you, look at the stuff that is being invented now. The frisbee and stuff like that. It's all stuff that like, you kind of go, it's alright, it's a good idea, but we don't need it.
Yeah, but the frisbee wasn't being worked on by the top brains of our generation. That was some novelty toy that some manufacturer made.
Yeah, but it's like, look at the fuss we made over that fella who came up with a Dyson vac. Everyone was like, he's up there with Einstein. Well, he's not. It's a good vac. It cleans up floors well and everything.
Who said he's up there with Einstein?
It's PR people.
In one of those programmes where they did, like, great inventions of our time, it was easy early on. You go, Einstein, you know, Newton did this, Archimedes, Dyson. And they started to run out, because it is harder to come up with something new now. Because everything that's needed, remember, the things we've invented are things that we sort of go, we could do with that. Inventors don't sit there going, what can I make? Oh, I need a toaster. They've sat there, they've burnt the toast under the grill, and they've gone, I need some sort of device here.
Well, somebody, yeah.
And what can it do? I'll shape
Necessity
it like that,
is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
However, there are people who sit around going, where's a loophole in the market? Where's a niche?
Well, here's something. About a year ago, I came up with a see-through toaster, so that you can see how much the toast is cooked.
Right.
I found it about 2 months after that. Someone had done it. So I've just been beaten to the post.
Yeah, but all you're really doing, Carl, is modifying an existing invention.
What other examples are being pipped at the post, are there? It's got to be one that hasn't been done. Or it's not your theory.
But also something that unlocks a mystery.
Or helps the world.
What's causing problems in the world at the moment that needs sorting?
Well, cures for things. Faster transport, anything to do with security, anything to do with well-being, you know.
mean, obviously environmental concerns are a big issue. People trying to design automobiles that
Fuel.
can run on different alternative fuels.
I met a bloke on a conference once who sent a drawing to Blue Peter. It was their design a car of the future, and he sent them a drawing that was a car, and the only innovation was that you can have a shit while driving. And then he put shit goes down pipe, which becomes fuel. They must have looked at that and gone, what a maniac.
I think that's a brilliant... I mean, I've driven a long way. I drove to Cornwall recently, and I would have loved...
But I think he did it when he was about 9, and he must have thought, oh, I'm being driven to school, oh, I need the toilet, wouldn't it be good?
Well, why hasn't that been done?
What?
Well, like Steve says, I've been in the same situation when you're driving and you go, oh, where's the service station? You see a sign saying 36 miles.
So what would
so
you suggest pull your trousers down and shit down in the seat that's a toilet?
Yeah, well, what's wrong with that?
Well, you got your nan in your back.
She's got one as well.
So you are going to Cornwall all shitting.
Well, not all the time, but it's more useful to me than a lighter.
So also,
When do you wash your hands?
Wash your hands or wipe your arse? At what point does that occur?
At the end of the journey.
Oh God! So you get in, you have a shit at Deptford, and you wipe your arse at Polperro.
Yeah, but like I've said to you, this isn't like just people going, oh, I think I'll have one. You need one? Not really, but it's something to do, innit? I'm sick of playing I Spy, I'm having a shit. You have it when you really need one. When you have to pull off a motorway, it's a lot of messing about. There's probably going to be a queue at the toilet. No more queues at toilets.
10 minutes, Rick, that takes, doesn't it? 10 minutes to pull off, have a quick shit.
Driving along. It's just going on. It's just going on. Don't even know about it. Radio's on. Everyone's happy. Doesn't matter. I don't know. I mean, we all do it as well. That's the thing.
Anything else you'd come up with? I mean, so far you've come up with nothing. That was a 9-year-old boy's idea.
I mean, the Breville maker wasn't needed.
That's true.
What's a Breville maker?
Like toasted sandwiches. But there's so many things, chocolate fountains, anything like that. I just go, what are these? Who's invented these? Who's okayed this idea? And yet I can't have a shit on the motorway.
Think of computers.
What about them?
Well, I mean, that's in the last few years. 100 years in our existence. Okay, they've been dabbling with anything even close to a computer. Nothing before that.
Yeah, computers are a good thing, and it baffles me as to how they came about. When you think a computer chip is just made out of sand. Now, for someone to come up with that, you go, there must have been some sort of alien involved here.
What do you mean? Why do you think that? So I love it. So the frisbee, rubbish. Anything too clever, well, it wasn't an invention, it was an alien. So there's nothing between frisbee and computer chip.
What I'm saying is, it's not even an idea, is it?
What do you mean?
A computer chip, where's that come from?
Oh, it's amazing. It's astounding, yeah.
So you think it was an alien? What are you talking about?
Great.
Because I can't believe that someone would go, right, I want to make something that will hold information and be able to do, I know, let's use some sand, we've got loads of that. You go, what, you don't...
Well, that's what genius is, though,
But
isn't
Carl,
it?
there's no alien involved.
No, but when I say alien, I don't mean an alien came down here and said, oh, do you want to buy this? There could have been
Yeah.
a spaceship crash, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's all them rumours, isn't there, in that hangar. They've got the spaceship, they take it apart, they go, yeah, wheels, we've got them, yeah, steering wheel, and then they go, hang on, what's this here? And they find the chips, and they break it down, and they find the sand.
But that as an explanation to human genius is nearly as ridiculous as the Adam and Eve explaining life on Earth. How could you tell that to someone without going red? I mean, I always worry about that, where people who believe in Adam and Eve, don't they wish there was a slightly better explanation? With all the evidence we've got, do you know what I mean? With all the evidence for evolution, that they think the Earth is 5,000 years old, and God made Adam out of some dust, and then he went, oh, I need a bird. It's alright, I'll make it out of your rib.
We've got this obsession thing again, it's saving everything. It's like how we save every animal, even a germ. We get upset about if it dies out.
Yeah,
Keep
but you say that, but of course, famously Alexander Fleming discovered what may be the most important breakthrough of the 20th century, which was the first antibiotic, I think, in 1928, and he's literally saved hundreds of millions of lives with that, changed the face of modern medicine. And he discovered that because he left a bit of old bread out for a while, and it went all mouldy in his kitchen. And he thought, oh, what's that? Oh, let's have a look.
Like I've said to you before, it's down to him being scruffy more than anything.
Well,
It just seems like there's a lot of scruffy kitchens around that, I mean, you're saying...
But think if his cleaner had come in and gone, oh, Mr. Fleming, you disgust me, you fucking filthy scruffy cunt, I'm gonna throw all this bread away. He's gonna go, Maud, what'd you do with that, old bread I left out? It'd gone green, sir, so I chucked it away. Oh, Maud, you dopey fucking slut. You've just caused millions and millions of people to die. Keep out of my fucking kitchen.
I know, but don't put it there. It's the same way smallpox in
So
a
you're on
yogurt
Maud's side.
pot. It's in a yogurt pot.
Well,
You're asking for trouble.
but what if Maud had come in and thrown that away? Again?
He couldn't shout at her. She's doing a job. I'd be annoyed if it was still there.
Yeah,
I'd
so...
say it's been here now for a couple of weeks. You haven't even asked. There's a lot of cleaners. That's part of the problem, I'd say. The cleaners. They're not doing the job. That's the problem in hospitals, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's filth everywhere.
Well, they proved a point. In one hospital, they brought a team of people in to show doctors and nurses how to clean things properly, and deaths went down 30%.
There you go.
Just from properly washing your hands and properly washing the floor and things. That's amazing, isn't it?
It's pretty simple. Just don't put, like, yogurt pots with smallpox in the fridge.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that's a starter.
Yeah, but you were saying earlier, let's let babies eat mud, don't inject them.
Yeah, but
Let them crawl around a dirty floor, clean up the floor, and no one will die.
I did say that, but we've gone too far now. Babies are coming out marred. Oh, they can't handle anything now. Oh,
Coming
he's got
out
a
what?
runny nose. They're coming out all mardy. get ill.
Mardy.
Yeah, they get ill easy. They're not tough babies anymore. We're ending up with a load of weak people who need looking after all the time. That costs a lot of money, and they can't do anything. They're useless. Now that doesn't happen in other nature. If a little weak bird is born, you see Bill Oddie saying that won't last. he says that won't last a week, and he's right. You watch it and he says, oh, that third baby that came out, it died. And
But
he
what's
was
your
right.
point, Carl? That modern
My
medicine,
point-
which can help people live to the age of 75, 80, that it shouldn't be doing that? They should let people just die off?
Well, here's something, right? The estate that I grew up on, there's a woman there,
Yeah.
Scruffy Sandra.
I like her already. Oh, it's great. It's so descriptive.
Now-
She had no chance, even if she cleaned up her act.
Yeah.
She'd come in looking like Pretty Woman. You go, all right, Scruffy.
No,
What's the point? What is the point?
So the thing is, she used to always get on these buses called dialer rides that were sort of like posh taxis. You could call for one, it'd come round to your house,
Yeah.
and it would pick you up, and you'd pay like 50p.
But it
you
would
were
pick
lo-
up a bunch of other people as well.
Yeah, on the way. So it would take ages
Oh,
to
what
get
a
to where you're
nightmare
going.
that is.
Oh, it's good though. It's kind of a bit of a day out. Old people used to love it because you'd get to see things.
Right.
And you'd hear a call coming in on the radio that Scruffy Sandra's being picked up, and you go, oh god. And she'd always have loads of bin bags with her for some reason. Now the thing is,
Well, she sounds clean.
she stunk.
Well, she's taken out the
Was
bin
she
bag,
homeless?
No, she wasn't homeless. No, she used to she just didn't bath and that. She just stunk. But the weird thing is,
then. Why didn't they call her Stinky Sandra?
she never was ill.
Right.
People didn't sit next to her
Yeah.
because she stunk.
Yeah.
Now, because of that, anyone who might have had a bit of flu or a cold never sat next to Scruffy Sandra
Right.
because she stunk. But that was good. That was like a protection thing for her because she knew that because she stunk, no one wants to sit next to her. She wouldn't pick up the germ.
Right. Now, but this is quite... Your point is, in order to fend off illness, you have to not bathe. And so you stink.
So you're saying that it wasn't that she'd built up an immunity, it was that she stank so much that flu wouldn't come near her.
This
be
is
a lot
such
of
a
you-
specific example. It's not applicable in any other scenario.
There's always colds, there's always flu. It's whether your immunity is good or bad. The times I get ill are usually after like a long haul flight or something, when you're surrounded by it and you're run down a little bit. Or
Maybe if
know,
you didn't bathe for 3 days before the flight.
Yeah. So, it's always there. There's colds and flus everywhere. That's interesting, isn't it, that more sort of colds are spread through shaking hands than people, just taking in the air. Because people sneeze into their hand, and they think that's sort of safer. But then they shake hands, and you get it on your hand, and it sort of dies in the air quickly, but it stays on your skin a bit more, because it's, you're nice and warm, lovely environment. So that's why some sort of germaphobes don't even shake hands anymore.
Yeah, but that's going too far because they're going to die or something. You can't be that paranoid. You've got to get on with your life.
Loneliness.
And it's good to feel ill because when you feel better, you appreciate how good
Doesn't
you
make
feel.
any sense at all. It's good to feel ill. Doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it does afterwards. The other weekend when I was ill, I don't know what was up with me, but I got something.
Symptoms?
Went to the toilet a lot, felt sick at the same time, got a sweat on, felt weak, had the shakes.
Just a bug, yeah.
Lasted probably about 24 hours. After that 24 hours, you go, oh, I feel good again. It's nice to feel good again. And it makes you appreciate how good you feel. Now, sometimes I don't know if I feel well.
Doesn't make any sense at all either. What do you mean? Sometimes you don't know whether you feel well.
Because I've been in my body for years.
Here he goes again.
Go on, yeah.
Here he goes again.
Now,
the two minds.
If there was some sort of kit that the doctor said, how are you feeling, Mr. Pilkington? And I go, oh, I think I feel all right. And they go, well, do you? Yeah, I don't know. And they go, well, step into the machine, right? Get into the machine, and if he could somehow transfer my feeling into his body, so I could feel how he feels, and then he can feel how I feel, and he'll go, oh, you're not well at all. Your heartbeat's irregular for a start.
You're a maniac.
This is... I
No.
don't know what's going on here.
Because-
Why don't you
you
just
get used-
accept that if you feel well,
Because you don't know if you
Hang
feel
on, let's
well.
get this machine built. Sorry, why are people bothering studying AIDS? We got to get this machine built.
Listen, this machine could do a lot of good if they could do it.
Why?
Because some people, you hear about people who go, oh, I think I've got a bit of wind. Before you know it, they drop down dead. Right? Because
Right.
they didn't know. They just, well, didn't Mr. Jones have a sweat on, Mrs. Jones, before? Oh yeah, he did, but he always had a sweat on. Well, didn't it bother him? No, he was used to it. Happened for years. Why didn't you come in? Oh,
So,
he
and
felt
what would the
alright.
machine do again?
The machine would make my doctor
Yum.
feel like me. He'd be sat there and he'd go,
Sorry,
Oh.
who's saying to Mrs. Jones, didn't Mr. Jones have a sweat on?
the doctor.
So the doctor knew he had a sweat on. Why didn't the doctor say, well, we
No.
gotta look at that?
No, he didn't. He asked
He's not a
Mrs.
very good
Jones.
doctor, though, is he? He's not a very good doctor, then.
Yeah, but this is the problem now, isn't it?
Right. So
Because there's too
Mr.
many ill
Jones went to the
people.
doctor and said, oh, I've got a sweat on. Right?
Right, so he'd go, well, I'll tell you what, get in the machine. So Mr. Jones gets in the machine.
Yeah.
The doctor hits the button. Mr. Jones gets into the doctor. The doctor
Right.
goes, you have got a sweat on. I'm familiar with this because I had a fella in the other day with a similar thing. Take 3 of these.
You are a mental case. I don't know what this is.
Because-
But why can't
What-
the
what is
doctor
this-
make that observation like a doctor
Yeah.
does? Why
What
can't the
is this-
doctor, using his knowledge, observe the
I
person
tell
with the
you
sweat
why.
on?
I tell you
This is
why.
like a scene from Ghost. This is
Right.
like Patrick Swayze.
Listen, do
borrowing...
you know that time when I went to the doctor's and he said my nerves are too short?
That doesn't make any sense
I
at
don't
all.
know
Well,
what that
listen,
was.
I've told you about it. I don't want to go through it again. But he looked at my legs and stretched them and that. He said, "Yeah, it's the old short nerves problem." Now,
The old famous short nerves
that took like 3 visits before he worked that out.
Right.
But how would he be able, just because if he was feeling how you were feeling, I wouldn't help him identify it,
Yeah,
would it?
you're there in your body and you're not going, bloody hell, my nerves are a bit short. Doctor, you go into the doctor, okay, and we're just going to place Pilkington in
Right. I'll tell you
Pilkington
the
is in me.
problem.
Oh, my nerves are too short.
When my nerves were short,
Are they not short already? Have they extended since then?
well, I just have to do stretches and it's pull them about.
Right.
But when I had that, I'm not very good with words.
Go on.
So when I was going in saying, "Doctor, my knee's aching," and he'd go, "What sort of ache is it?" I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just an ache. And
Toothache. It's like a toothache in my
no,
leg.
but it's different.
Go
It's
on.
a different ache. Now the thing
Arseache.
is,
It's like an arseache.
it's hard to explain an ache.
So he'd
Yeah.
have to feel the ache, and then he could make an assumption from it.
Thank you.
So he would presumably go through training, going in the machine, and they'd bring in various sick people, and he would experience and feel every single ailment.
Great.
Yeah, but over.
Doctor, I'm going to let you know now what a swift kick in the bollocks feels like, just in case you ever have to diagnose that. Oh, you can't! I can't remember that one.
Yeah, but
Doctor, now you're going to feel a spike up the arse.
it's all about.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh, I can't remember that one. Okay.
No,
Doctor-
couldn't I just wait until the man comes in with a spike up my arse?
No, you got to tell you so you know
But
when
I
you
reckon I
feel
could
it.
assess it if he's coming. He's got the spike up his arse. I'd
You've
be
got
able
to
to tell.
experience everything before someone comes in and gets into your body like Ghost, and you'll know what it is.
Hey, listen. Let's not dismiss this idea out of hand, of course, because you'll famously remember, Rick, that Carl had the idea of a man who can grow backwards. So he's born as an old man,
Yeah.
and when he dies, he's a young baby. I think we're all looking forward to the new Brad Pitt film. That is exactly that plot.
a bit strange.
It's not really strange, is it? Because it's from a novel, I think written before Carl was born.
That's true. That is true. Yes.
Yeah,
So
but I
actually-
haven't read it.
Well,
so
that's obvious.
It's just an idea, and with all ideas comes something. Einstein said that. He said if an idea isn't
Go on. Wait. Just
what
let
did
him
Einstein
finish.
say?
We've got an Einstein quote here.
Yeah.
This is a historic day. Carl, sorry, what were you saying? What did Albert Einstein say?
he just said something along the lines of.
No. Give us the
Come on,
quote.
do
Give us
it.
the
No,
quote.
It doesn't matter about how he
don't.
worded it. It's the point in hand.
Well, I think it is. I think a quote. I think like all, any sort of poetic content of anything is exactly how it's worded. So just what did Einstein
It's
say
not,
exactly?
no, it's
Well,
not.
no, it is, yeah.
Well, he said something along the lines of
Go on.
an idea. If an idea isn't daft,
Oh, start again.
No,
'cause
come on, let's hear it.
No, because he started. Because he
said if an idea isn't daft, it isn't worth thinking about.
From 1978, Carl, Werewolves of London by Warren Zevon. Are you a fan of that?
It's alright, that.
Great track, isn't it?
Fans of Warren Zevon, maybe if you should know he's got a new album out as we speak. Although, if you're a fan, you probably know that already.
Yeah.
If you aren't a
People
fan,
who hate him would
Yeah,
be interested
would
in
be-
knowing
yeah.
that he's got a new album out.
Yeah.
Do you believe in? I think
Werewolves.
lycanthropy. Is it not called
What's that, sorry?
lycanthropy?
What's lycanthropy?
Isn't that werewolfism?
Really?
Isn't it? Do you believe in that, Carl?
They've found stuff, haven't they? They've found kids walking about who are all hairy because they've sort of grew up with wolves and that.
Yeah.
So
No. You see, two things there. Right. You cannot take on acquired characteristics genetically. So if you grew up with wolves, it wouldn't suddenly make you hairy.
there's
Two.
been pictures, there's been stories on it, and I reckon most people have, or a lot of people have seen the stories. It's a popular thing.
You mean the kids that are born hairy?
No, there's kids who've been born hairy, right?
Yeah, that's it.
No, but listen, and they walk around on all fours, and they drink milk from a saucer.
Steve, this is
No,
too
remember,
easy.
listen, remember that time with the maggot in the head? And getting out with bacon, and you were like laughing, and then people called up and said, "Yeah, I've seen that, I've read about that."
Yeah,
this
but
is the same thing.
Have you seen an XFM listener up close? Have you ever looked?
They
studied?
drink milk from a saucer.
Yeah, they've got to be kept on leads. People who listen to this show.
There's no point me telling you about stuff.
There is. It's comedy
See,
gold.
when you were at school, did you keep arguing with the teacher saying you're talking rubbish there?
Teachers didn't teach us about werewolf boys and ghosts. They taught us maths. God, right. Tell the story about the manhole cover.
Right, in the same magazine as the one with the cat and the fire and that.
Don't tell me that story again, it gives me the shivers.
Yeah, a cat that's got a weird expression on its face is against God.
Anyway, this isn't a scary story. This was just like
Get
physics.
explained.
Physics.
Yeah, yeah.
It was going on about the nuclear bomb and how powerful it is. And they put a manhole cover on top of one.
Okay.
Blew it up.
Yeah.
Never saw the manhole cover again.
Man alive, Carl. Unexplained.
What's going on there? Something weird is happening there. Oh.
If anyone has ever seen that manhole cover, please get in touch. We'd love to know where it is.
Oh, that's fantastic. What sort of experiment is that? I imagine all these scientists on multi-billion-pound research budgets, they're going, we test everything. What would you do to a manhole cover? Don't know.
That's like letting a couple of students
Yeah, exactly.
have control of a
Do
nuclear
you reckon it can
Let's
send a
put this
traffic
cone,
cone into orbit? Go on then, put it on there. I love that. I imagine that. What value is that? I might tell you what we could do. We could put the manhole cover on it and aim it, and then blow the bomb up, and the manhole cover would have someone's eye out. Fire it. See if you can fire manhole covers off the nuclear bomb. Whatever. Tie bangers to a bomb. See if it's louder. Oh God.
Anyway, Carl, look, let's have a little quick session of White Van Man. For those that don't listen to the show regularly, the Sun, as you may know, has a section called White Van Man where a member of the public gets asked their opinions on the week's big political and social hot potatoes. Carl, we just thought it would be fun if you answered some of the questions. It's not so much questions, it's just your views really on these big news stories. What do you make of Olympic ski hero Alan Baxter testing positive for drugs?
What did he do?
Well, he won a gold medal in the Olympics, and
what?
He was a skier,
Right.
and he won gold medal, and they've just tested him positive for some kind of illegal drug.
But what, I mean, if he did, why take drugs to ski?
Why?
Because all you do is balance.
But imagine, it'd be amazing if you were stoned, like going down a hill.
Yeah, it's not like you have
But
to.
it's not going to help you, is
No,
it?
it's
not
just
like-
gravity that's doing all the work, isn't it? With skiing.
Yeah, but it's often to do with your athleticism, isn't it? It's
No, but it'd be
you-
like saying, and we've just found out the people on the toboggan were on crack. It's not going to help them. You sit there and you go with the flow,
Yeah,
and you try, and you hold
could I
on.
say, the drugs he was
Apparently
taking,
that's his defence,
probably, he probably wasn't jacking up H or, dropping a few E's or getting stoned. He was probably taking more sort of,
Steroids.
performance-enhancing drugs, as opposed to him just, like, scoring some shit around the corner from someone,
but that
getting off his tits and jumping in a toboggan. Doesn't mean that, does it?
He wasn't off his nut.
Yeah. You tested you. You pissed out your head.
But why doesn't he just say, don't be stupid, why would I do that? It's just not going to help me out.
But it is, isn't it? Because performance-enhancing drugs do.
Wait a minute, Steve. Wait a minute, Carl. Right, look at this way. Look at me. Yeah. Have I got his attention?
Yeah, the lights glinting off your ring there.
Yeah.
You're attracted to.
Okay, right. Now keep concentrating. Right. Some athletes, you're aware they take drugs. That's to build up
Swimmers
muscle.
and stuff.
Yeah, swimmers, for
Runners.
example, runners. Yeah, not only do they have to build muscle, right, but they can actually, give them a boost performance-wise,
Yeah.
sort of like steroids and all this sort of stuff. Right? So that's the sort of thing we're talking about. Okay.
Right, so again,
He wasn't on
why
a bong
would that help
before.
you?
What?
Why would that help you when all you've got to do is balance on skis?
Not when you're at the Olympic level.
Yeah.
There's a lot to do with, your body and your
No, it's
legs.
practice, isn't it? It's like, if you've skied for years, then you've got good balance after a bit.
Oh, do you know what, Carl? Do you know what? You've made a mockery of drug taking. Well done. Right, next one, Steve.
I hate this bit. I hate this.
I don't know if you saw it. What did you make of Posh Spice's Warts and All documentary?
Yeah, I saw a bit of it.
What did you make of it?
I mean, people are slagging him off, aren't they? Saying, she's daft and that, but
Don't you.
She's. I think they're all right, honestly.
Yeah,
you
I think
know,
they're all right.
she's all right. I mean, I think David's really a decent bloke.
Sure.
Um,
Would you agree that he's quite a simple man?
yeah, but he's a footballer. He doesn't need to be. Do you know what I mean? It's like me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, all right, I only got an E in history, but knowing about the Tudors doesn't help me press these buttons and put the next CD on.
No, sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So good luck to him, and he's done well out of it. And it's just jealousy.
Yeah.
I remember though, when I was back in Manchester, I was in Piccadilly train station, and he was there, right? Not as big a star as he is now.
Yeah.
Back then, but he was stood there, and I was so close to going over to him and saying, "Did you go to my school?" Because I recognised his face, but I didn't know who he was. Do you know when you sort of go, "Sure, I went to school. It's not the one with the big head."
Yeah.
But I do recognise him. And then my girlfriend got off the train, and I said, "I'm sure I know him." She said, "Yeah, it's David Beckham." And I was so
thank
close
God
to
for your
going over.
girlfriend. Does she get an awful lot of scrapes, does she?
She does, yeah.
Okay, what about the fact that the pension crisis
Sure.
is going to force Britons to work into their 70s, Carl? You might have to carry on working into your 70s before you can claim a pension.
I think it's a good thing. Because you see a lot of old people who look bored.
Okay.
And I honestly think if you
do.
keep your brain busy,
Yeah.
you'll live longer.
Yeah.
It's only when you actually shut down, right, that's when your body sort of dies because it doesn't feel it has a purpose. It's like if you've got flu, keep going to work. If you have a day off, you just feel worse. You'll mope about at home. It doesn't do you any good.
What about,
whatsoever.
where do you draw the line there, though? What if you, say, lose a finger? Pop into work?
Depends. If you can't concentrate because it's painful,
But what if you're a typist?
Or
you're not going to
pianist?
type as many words, but you'll do more at work than you would having a day off at home.
Sure. Okay. Tony Blair turning trendy with his Paul Smith designed naked lady shirt. I don't know if you've seen this. It's the one with the pictures of naked ladies on the cuffs.
And, you know, I mean...
Okay. And finally...
How's that? You see, this is what annoys me about this feature. It's just, what's that? So what?
yeah, but it's the Prime Minister of this country wearing a trendy shirt with naked ladies on the cuffs.
Alright.
Okay. And finally, what do you make of the fact that Top of the Pops have banned Will Young singing both tracks on the #1 slot, and consequently he wasn't on there at all? They had to show the video. The first time anyone's ever made this demand. He wants to sing both the A and B side.
Well, he can't.
It's double A, yeah.
Double A side.
That's what they wanted to do.
That isn't how it works, is it?
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
And the thing is, which one... I mean, at the end of the day, loads of people have bought it, haven't they? And it's
Yes,
like one of the
yes.
best... So it doesn't really matter what it does, because people have got it, they can listen to what song they want at home. Doesn't matter about what Top of the Pops do.
Yes.
And it's just annoyed me now. It's...
Who's annoyed you?
Just what goes on in the world. I tell you, you're better off not knowing. It's better being in my little world. If that's what people are talking about on the streets and asking the white van man, do you know what I mean?
I think you're right, Carl. I think you're
Jeez.
right. Shall I play a lovely song for you? Because you're getting all stressed now, aren't you?
I've not had a good day.
No, I know. We tell you about it later. It's not a good day. Well, I'm going to play a Neil Young track here of Harvest. It's Alabama. It's beautiful, and this is for Carl.